Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be going over a set of pretty major gameplay changes that were recently implemented as a test into Fortnite. And many people are claiming that the adjustments contained in this testing are some of the absolute best that have ever been made in Fortnite history. The changes I'm referring to were added on a limited time basis into the Scavenger Pop-Up Cup, which is basically a 5-hour long in-game solos tournament. And in this Pop-Up Cup, there were 3 core gameplay changes that were being tested all at the same time. First, a brand new max materials cap. Instead of 999 wood, 999 brick, and 999 metal, it was changed to 500 wood, 500 brick, and 500 metal. So pretty much cut almost exactly in half from the normal cap. Next, the harvesting rate of all materials was increased by 40%, meaning you gain 40% more materials when farming anything in-game. And finally, an interesting form of lifesteal was added into Fortnite. As the patch notes directly describe it, players gain 50 health when eliminating an opponent. If health is full, players will receive shield. And as I mentioned, the initial response to these changes were overwhelmingly positive. Some examples of post titles from online forums discussing these changes include Scavenger is the greatest thing Epic has ever done, popular opinion, Scavenger Cup tournament was way better than Alpha/Beta tournament, adding the plus 50 HP per kill to the normal game modes is one of the best things that can be done in Fortnite right now, and finally, the changes Epic are testing in the Scavenger Cup are perfect for the future of Fortnite going forward. And according to Liquid Poach directly, Epic is currently running pro player custom lobbies with the settings from the Scavenger Cup. So Epic clearly has at least some very real interest in using these new settings in much more than just an LTM or in-game tournament. But much like a lot of the recent changes in Fortnite, and especially the major ones, there's some clear positives as well as some clear negatives here. So I want to discuss those positives and negatives as well as what impact these changes would potentially have on public match Fortnite if implemented into regular old solos, duos, and squads. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so let's start this off by discussing the first change of cutting the material cap basically in half from 2,997 to 1,500 on the dot. I'm definitely on the fence about this change, and it certainly has its own set of positives and negatives that are worth discussing. I like the fact that with a 1,500 material max cap, you have to be a little bit more tactical and smart with your building as a whole. In situations where you get lucky enough to be blessed with 3,000 materials, you can really just build forever, and it gets to a point where you can basically just keep building until your opponent inevitably runs out of materials before you. And this change also helps reward aggressive players that are consistently able to establish high ground in build fights. The times you burn through materials the fastest in Fortnite is when you're trying to retake high ground from someone and when you're defensively turtling. So if you play aggressive, constantly establish high ground and force players into turtling positions, everybody around you is going to be using a major chunk of their 1,500 mats, while you're going to be using very little of your 1,500. But overall, I think that 500, 500, 500 is just a tad bit too low. It wasn't super noticeable in the Scavenger Cup because that was a solo tournament, so you were mostly just fighting 1v1s the entire time, but there were still situations where I would go down to about 500 materials after killing a guy and then immediately get third party. And 500 mats is more than enough in a lot of situations to defend yourself and kill someone, but if you run into a really good player, you'll burn through that very, very quickly. And then you're stuck in one of the worst situations in all of Fortnite where you're trying to fight a player who has materials while you have none. So I think a cap more in the range of 700, 700, 700 would definitely work a little better than the 500, 500, 500 cap. This is especially important if these changes are planning to be implemented into duos and especially squads where you burn through materials like crazy in long team fights. Now moving on to the next change, which is the 40% material harvesting rate increase. I, along with the majority of the Fortnite community, believe that this is one of those changes that that pretty much everybody would be in favor of. Increasing the material farming rate is something that I strongly believe Fortnite has needed for months now. I don't think there's a single person on the entire planet that actually enjoys farming materials, especially at the current normal harvesting rate. And another positive of this change is that it really makes recovery, at least material-wise from a fight, so much easier now. If you win a fight but it leaves you with, say, 50 or 100 materials, with the increased harvesting rate, now all you have to do is whack maybe 5 or 6 trees, and you're back at a somewhat workable amount of mats. And when you combine the faster farming rate with the lower overall material cap, it really opens up the viability of certain landing spots. That's one of the things I kinda dislike about landing tilted. Even if you farm all of the pallets and all of the trees that are available directly in the town, you're looking at a max of maybe 600 or 700 total wood. If as soon as you leave tilted, you run into someone that landed at a better spot for farming materials, and they spent the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game just whacking trees and rocks, they may have triple your mats when you eventually go to fight them. So combining a lower material cap with a faster farming rate makes it so much less likely that that will happen. And my only negative regarding this change is that I honestly still think a 40% increase is a bit too low. It's definitely noticeable compared to the normal harvesting rate, don't get me wrong, but much like raising the material cap a bit from 1500, I don't think anyone would really complain if you bumped it from a 40% increase to maybe a 60, 70, or 75% increase. It's not like we're all the way back in December of last year where only a small percentage of players even knew the value of farming materials. Pretty much everybody nowadays doesn't even leave their starting town with at least a few hundred mats, so all this change would do is eliminate a necessary yet incredibly boring part of playing Fortnite. And the final change, which is without a doubt the most controversial of the three, players gain 50 health when eliminating an opponent. So here's what I like about this change. First off, this is another change that really encourages and rewards an aggressive playstyle. 50 health/shield is a surprisingly generous amount, and from my experience in playing the Scavenger Cup, I really felt that this change helped me stay over 150 total health for most of the time I was playing these games. Adding on to that point, I really like that this adds a non-RNG form of shield into the game. Although I really hated Fortnite as a whole, the zombies giving shield was something that I actually really did like. This change is basically that being incorporated in normal Fortnite, but now you actually have to kill real players this time, so even better compared to just killing zombies. And maybe the biggest positive regarding this change is the fact that it actually helps reduce the effectiveness of third partying. If you're fighting a guy and then you get third partied, if you can quickly confirm either of those kills from either of the two players, the immediate 50 health boost will really help you so much against the remaining player. But unlike increasing the material farming rate, this change does have some clear negatives. Being able to get kills without taking damage is a super important skill that rewards only the smartest players. Even if you can win almost all of your 1v1 fights, but you're taking 100 or 150 damage each time, good luck getting more than 3 or maybe 4 kills in a row. Even though I like that this change rewards aggressive play, I do like that it rewards over-aggressive or even straight up stupid aggressive play. I just feel like in the grand scheme of things, 50 health may just be a bit too much, and that's coming directly from an aggressive player. So overall, much like most of the community, I really enjoyed the core gameplay changes that were being tested in the Scavenger Pop-Up Cup. I think these changes are designed to speed up the average Fortnite game, and I think that that's definitely a really good thing. Even though glider redeploy certainly had some flaws, I was really sad to see it go because removing it made the game feel just a tad bit less exciting and overall a lot slower to play. It's a major reason why so many players love the blue Blitz LTM in Fortnite, which uses a lot of the same gameplay modifications as we saw in the Scavenger Cup. And regarding the plus 50 health change, I literally just made a video about this exact topic about a week ago, but I think this is an attempt by Epic to solve the core problem of taking fights not being rewarding enough in Fortnite. I've even seen a few suggestions online of people wanting to go a step further with this change and also have it include being instantly granted a certain amount of materials for each elimination that you get. I think that's definitely a pretty cool idea, but where it really wouldn't work would be at the very beginning of a game. Let's say you land in a building like Big Bertha and instantly get a kill. Well, now everybody around you is going to surely have 0 or maybe 20 materials, while you have 100 or 150. You shouldn't have that much of an insane advantage just because you tack shotgun a guy who still hadn't picked up a gun yet and was running around with his pickaxe out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to leave me a comment down in the comment section below. We discussed a lot of changes in this video today, so I want to know what you guys think. Do you like these changes? Do you hate them? Do you like some of them and hate some of them? Let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.